Hello, everybody. It's your boy Lumenaddy. Today's February the 1st, and let's get right into it. What an intense day in the charts. Um, I still think that we might have some good news to work with through all the chaos and madness. Let's go into the daily to see where our most recent candle ended and what did it form. Um, we had expected when we were making the video yesterday, I believe the price was around here, which was 51-ish, or maybe a little bit lower, around 50. And we said that price should go back towards this confluence of levels, and possibly, if we want to be really conservative, we could wait till price would touch this 4809 level and bounce back. We were hoping for a successful bounce back that would continue on up. However, today's candle is shaping up to be another bear candle, and it's continuing down. Um, we will have to see if it too will have a pullback like our previous candle. Um, however, I am noticing something else that I want to talk about a little bit later as to what possibly could be forming. But let's go to the 4-hour candle just to see in detail what happened yesterday. So we were around here and we said, okay, we can expect price to come close to this confluence levels, which it did. It continued to go down. We had expected it to stay around here. However, we said if you want to be really conservative, we can expect price to get to this key retracement level, and it did bounce back from that. So, and I could tell you that there were a lot of people expecting the same. However, we had this massive dip below, and what was causing this huge 4-hour bearish candle? I mean, if y'all looked at what Bitcoin was doing on the charts, it was just a hot mess, really. And it's just the Bitcoin price is just crashing. And as all the currencies are related to, not related to, but they're matched up and paired up with Bitcoin, you could see all their graphs just mimic Bitcoin's price action. And we get to Stellar and we see similar mimicking in price action, obviously a little bit more exaggerated in that the swings in percentages of gains and losses with Stellar compared to Bitcoin is always more for the Lumens. So we are continuing to see bearish movement even on the 4-hour chart. And to me, I was starting to question my analysis, and I was thinking, well, maybe I read the charts wrong, and maybe all the past bullish signals were just a fake and just wishful thinking on my part. And then whenever I'm a little bit confused, I always pull back. I always look back at the charts and I see, is there any repetition? Is there something? And what I noticed is our last bull run, right, that we had, it broke out from a falling wedge pattern, right? And this was drawn, and you can see in the previous video, this was already drawn there. And so I said, okay, well, is there a falling wedge pattern here? Because if so, then our previous signals are still good of a bull run coming up, right? And so how we draw a falling wedge pattern is from our previous um, bull run. We look after it's completed, which is approximately over here. We look for the lowest low that broke the previous low, which is around here, and then we just connect the lows, and then we continue to connect them and it's just like a rough estimate. Um, so you draw that like so. I think this is good. And then you take, if it's a falling wedge, then your upward trend line would be where you think the wedge would eventually get to. So you look at the highs and you see where the highs are trending. So I'm going to take these two highs over here and see where that trend line takes us, which is roughly there, something like that. Okay, so what does this show us? Well, if this falling wedge is accurate, what we can expect price to do in the next few days, well, not the next few days, within the next day, because this is a 4-hour chart, we can expect price to hit this level over here, which if you look to the left, there is some resistance previously there, so it would create a new support, and this level is at 44.64, right? And then you can expect some consolidation, so hang around 44.64 or 45, and then dip down again to this point right here, and that's at 43.06. And then you can expect some sideways action, possibly dip down one more time to this level, which is 41.86, or at this level, because there's already a retracement level there, trend line there, you can see price maybe bouncing off here or go down and bounce off this price. So somewhere in this region, we can expect our next bull run to occur. That could be a possible movement that we can see, or we can see price as it hits this level over here, 45, consolidate and move sideways, and then as it gets past this upward trend line, then move on up. That we'll just have to wait and see what the charts show us. As the price moves down, I do expect the Stochastic RSI to finally get under 10 and possibly under 5 as well, which would give us an extremely oversold position, and we'd be able to put in more buy orders. If you are still holding up your buy orders from here, or you've converted your your Bitcoin to Lumens up here, and you're thinking, oh, I should cut my losses and convert it back to Bitcoin, and then wait for Bitcoin to drop down below, and then convert it back to Lumens to take on a profit. I would just calculate the difference in prices and see if this swing, along with the transaction fees that you have, actually make up the difference. If not, it's just better to hold. Because in the long-term trade, as Bitcoin prices also move on up, because you can expect this to get down to around 7,000 or 6,500, and then you can expect Bitcoin to move on up as well. So as Bitcoin moves up and as Stellar moves up, we can expect more of a positive movement in price for the Lumens. Like we've said, that even though their price correlates together, it seems that the Lumens price always exaggerates a response. If it's a bull run, you'll always have a bigger bull run, and if it's a bear run, it seems to have a more of a bearish response. So that's what I'll be looking for. Just to recap, we'll be looking to see if the price completes the falling wedge pattern, which then upon breakout will be signaling another bullish run. That's on the 4-hour chart. So we'll have a couple scenarios where we're looking for it to bounce off this trend line, bounce off the upward trend line, bounce back off the bottom trend line, and get to the apex before breaking out, or it can bounce off the bottom trend line, just consolidate past the upward trend line, and then break out. So that will be something we'll be looking for. Also, within this wedge itself, if we see consolidation patterns, bearish patterns, or bullish patterns from our candle formation, that'll give us an inclination of what to expect. In terms of Muse and volume, Stellar is dropped in volume again. It's at 188 currently, and I believe we were over at 2. Yeah, we had 288 before, and it dropped to 172. So it's hovering around there. So people are probably pulling out their money, expecting the consolidation patterns to complete, the falling wedge to complete, and then put back in the money to ride it up. In terms of Muse, Lumens introduced their relationship with at My Lala World, which I'm not really sure how big of a deal that is, but I haven't read the white paper, so that could be something else to look at and could be a positive. However, I don't think that's going to immediately cause an upward spike. I think that this pattern completes and then you get an upward spike. So overall, hold would be the pattern for today. Hold until this formation completes. Hold until you see price action move past this wedge, and let's pick it up tomorrow and see where we're at. All right. That's all for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see y'all tomorrow, and peace.